Happy Saturday.
Happy Saturday.
What's amazing about that is that there's no reference now. There's no recorded reference because I deleted the stream
This
from
is true.
yesterday. That like the 8-minute stream of us trying to fiddle with a restream and screen share issues, and then we decided to quit. So
Is this what you do now? Say happy Saturdays?
yeah, I'm like I'm trying to change my entire personality. I've done it before, so it just takes focus and energy, of course. But
What do you mean you've done it before?
yeah, like in high school, like
What
there
did
was one
what
day
did
I'm
you
just like,
try?
well, I was like, oh, I guess I'm just gonna be a little bit more social
Mm.
in my, and because I was like way less social in high school, and then I was like, maybe just a little bit more. I'm just gonna just take it up a notch, and then I did. So
And what happened?
now you see me here. This is who I become. That's a fact.
Wait, okay, so like did you switch back to antisocial? Okay, that sounds
No,
so much
no,
worse.
no, no. Like even in like in high school, you have to be a little like there's levels of engaging you need to be in order to create certain friendship groups, and
Yes.
sometimes you think that's not an active decision you make because you have just one personality, which is never true. Really, you're one way with your parents, you're one way with your friends, you're one way at work, slightly different variations. All of those are your person. Like all of those are you technically. So some of those can be intentional. Some of them are intentional. In fact, like at work, it is intentional. Uh, Still part of your authentic self. So there is a way. So you could be like, hey, let me just behave like this in this environment, and I don't know,
Okay, cool.
join the computer club. Versus just not.
Is that what you did?
Yeah, grade 10. Grade 9, I was just like, kept my head down, didn't look at anyone. Only the people I already knew from like, grade school.
And they
And
weren't
some
good
friends.
enough. You were like, I need better friends.
Yeah, I need an upgrade. It sucks. Yeah, honestly. To some degree. Part of it also is I just part of it also is like I think the people you surround yourself with actively does decide what like how you start spending your time. And I did at some level make a conscious decision to be like, oh, I should probably make friends with people with higher grades.
Oh, higher grades specifically, huh?
Yeah, yeah.
Interesting.
And also join the computer council
Okay, cool.
and
Right.
debate club.
Oh wow, you did like
In high
multiple
school. Yeah.
branching out.
You were never in a debate club?
Well, I was in. This sounds so stupid. I was in business club.
Of course, that makes total sense because that explains a lot about you. That what do kids say? That checks out or
Tracks.
that tracks? Yeah, that tracks. Business club, of course. Yeah. Yeah.
I learned marketing in business club
Yeah. Yeah. Look, you learned
and
business.
accounting.
Did anyone say, guys, this is a place of business? Did anyone ever? Because I would say that every meeting I'd be like, that's how it start.
Oh, it was a place of fun.
Okay, interesting. I'd also become part of this thing. We had something called Reach for the Top. I don't know if you're
Okay.
familiar with that.
No.
It's a quiz competition in Ontario, at the very least, I believe, at various schools in Ontario.
Like trivia type quiz or like
Yeah,
okay.
trivia. And they had like a school would compete against another school, but I never participated in any of that or even tried out for it. But there was like within our school, you'd make teams, and then a teacher would organize it, and then like just after classes or after school, you would, your team would compete with another one. There was a buzzer system, so that like the teachers just set up the desks of the two different teams for active players at a time, and then there'd be multiple rounds, and you could switch people between rounds on your team as well. And you
Like-
press the buzzer.
Like Family Feud.
Yeah, I guess. Do you do buzzer in Family Feud though?
I don't know actually.
Yeah, I don't think you do. The guy
No?
just comes up to you, and it's it's like it's one-on-one buzzer you do in Family Feud, but you don't like in Reach for the Top. It's four, like it's not 1 versus 1. It's 4 versus 4 as two
So anyone can.
anyone can press the buzzer,
I see.
and then sometimes you get upset your own teammate because like they pressed the buzzer, but you knew the right answer and they gave the wrong answer because they were just too quick on the buzzer. So that was part of in high school. Just not competing. I'm sorry, this is too much now. I played cricket
Oh yeah.
for my
I
high
think you
school.
did mention that.
Played a
That's
couple of games.
see that does not track.
Why? How dare
I don't
you?
know.
How
Like,
dare you?
Everything else kind of track.
I enjoyed playing sports a lot, actually.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. In high school.
Okay. I guess if I think about it, kind of
Yeah.
track with
I-
the ping pong and the pickleball.
Okay. Yeah, I enjoyed playing sports quite a bit. Like we'd go and play cricket in the fields here after we moved here. Soccer, of course, like soccer, cricket, basketball. I
Google
tried.
what cricket looks like.
We even bought a basketball net when we moved into a house, and then I had to like bribe my brother to play with me because would not care, and I'd be like, oh, I just need someone to play, and I don't have any friends nearby, and like I'd be like, I'll give you $1 if you play with me, 25 cents.
Oh my
$1.
god, that's so funny.
And then
Hold on. We need to before we do work.
Mhm.
Wait, why can't I? Okay, there we go.
you want to look for cricket.
Yeah. I honestly don't even remember. Oh.
Okay, so apparently there's active cricket games going on. But yeah, if you scroll down, I suppose I actually like this about Google a lot. Where if I type in the NBA, and it'll just give me this panel where like
The image.
yeah, so that's the pitch, and then there's a whole field.
Huh, okay. Interesting.
There's like a 3.5-hour movie called Lagan from Bollywood. This movie must be like 20, 25 years old now. You should watch it. Just
Okay.
3.5 hour commitment. Straight up.
What's it called?
Lagan, Lagaan.
Oh, like this?
Yeah, Lagan. And the word Lagan means tax.
Oh, it's a musical.
Most
sport
Bollywood movies
musical.
are. Yeah, I mean, most Bollywood movies have songs in them, so that's sort of
This is
like
true, yeah.
implied. I think the reason it's probably categorized as musical specifically is because it was put up for the Oscars. So it was, I believe it got nominated for international.
I mean, this looks okay. This looks promising.
Yeah, you think I was just recommending a random movie?
I don't know.
So I think it's placed in the 1800s. Yeah, 1893.
Oh, cool.
There's a small village, and the British bring cricket to India.
Cool.
And while they try and tax these villages that are under their rule, so it has its moments. The movie.
Cool. All right.
Okay, real talk.
That was a
Real
lot
work.
of yeah.
Pretty
That was a
handball.
lot of random.
10 minutes. Yeah.
All right.
All because I said happy Saturday. What a waste. I knew I never should have done it.
Yeah.
Never
How
should've
did we
done
get? Okay.
All right. So last time we did part like it's Friday on a Saturday. We
Yes.
ended with writing to the MongoDB database. And then you had taken that knowledge and information and used it for your own
Yes.
purposes.
Is there a way? Oh yeah. Okay, I guess there's a way. Hold on. Is this the best way to like look at previous commits? Is like looking through here?
Yeah, let's see what happens. Click on that one. What happens if you double click it? Okay, it just opens, it closes. I guess just click here. Ideally what you should see here is a diff. Here we're seeing the full file.
Well, these are new files.
These are net new files. Okay, yeah, great. Then you just click on it, and then ideally when you had changed code, it would show you a diff, and when you do this, it would show you the full thing.
Okay. Yes. Okay, so first I tried to replicate, I guess, the insert and read
Perfect
endpoints.
Yeah.
I was like, let me create a delete one, which just delete one by the ID, and then an update one. I did later get rid of the update endpoint because I was like, why am I doing this right now?
I would actually keep it because I would suggest keeping it. Up to you, really. And the reason why is these can become references for you. There's no reason why you should need to memorize all of these, right? But there's also no reason why you should refer to AI or Google every time you need to know it. That's also a waste of time. Like when you're in a fluid kind of flow, ideally you're just referencing your own code and going, oh wait, I've already done this. And I use like these like test files or cases for a lot of that purpose. It's like, okay, I know I'm gonna need to use these API things, so like update one API, the delete API, whatever, and then I'll have examples for it. And now I'm just like referencing those as I go. Some of them obviously I know from memory now, but when I'm working with a new library, I just create an example set. Sometimes where in this case, that's really a great use case for it. Because now the next time you'll be typing in, push instead of update one, because that's what you're feeling push that day. Like unnecessary, just reference your own code.
Right.
Okay. But okay, we don't have to bring it back or anything. But all right, yeah, let's see what else you have done.
And then same day, I'm looking at the timestamps. Same day. I think this is like right after the session.
Okay, yeah.
Just kind of kept going a little bit. What did I do here? Connected front end to game creation endpoints. Oh yeah, so like putting the stuff in the body.
Okay, yeah. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. I will have some suggestions on like naming conventions. I mean, I can offer that to you now, but obviously from a test perspective, end to end, it doesn't really matter. But for your own readability, ideally you want something like API/insert game instead of insert data. Data is too generic. Like if you will have other data that isn't a game, then you want to be more specific here. There are other naming conventions for API endpoints that are based on what's called a REST model. But we don't have to worry about that right now. For now, this is fun. You could just create ad hoc ones as you go. No big deal. But there are generic conventions for these kinds of things. But again, no problem now. The only thing I would mention is, insert data is too generic.
I think I changed that later. I feel like I did that because I was also like, what is insert data? What did I do here? Oh yeah, I just made it so that it's actually taking in the values.
The actual, so these are form values that are coming in?
Yes.
Okay. And question how did that feel? Did you test it out and it worked?
I think it took a couple iterations.
I mean, no, but once you got it done,
Oh yeah, that
not
was
like
cool.
the feeling of completing it. Yeah, not the feeling of debugging or whatever. That's fine. But once you had it done, you were like, oh wow, I've made a form on the internet
Yeah,
that you could submit and stores in a database. It's slightly different than a form that interacts with an API that doesn't that only returns information. There's, I think, a slightly different level of magic to actually storing data and then displaying it back. So that's the feeling which I distinctively remember,
yeah,
25 odd
that was
years
really
ago.
cool.
Yeah. Yeah, it is really like it feels like, oh yeah, now like
It's like, oh my god, I'm doing something.
yeah, I've accomplished something. Yeah. Yeah.
And
Versus even like in a tic-tac-toe where you're kind of just like it's all internal in memory. That's a great feeling, but it's a different feeling than like, oh, I refreshed the page and my game is still there kind of energy, which is different.
yeah,
Cool. Yeah.
and that's when I ended my day. And then I guess a day later, I was like, let me do some more, which this is when I don't really remember what I was doing. What was I doing? Oh, I was like, oh, let me work on the host page.
Mm-hmm.
And when I went to the host page, I was like, oh, like, I think I should be able to like populate the game footer with what I need or something.
Okay.
Did a little bit of like, oh, this is just me being a little okay. One thing that I really wanted to like do is to wait, let me hold on. Let me start this so we can look at it.
Cool.
One thing I really wanted to make sure show up is when I add. Oh no! Now you can see my past.
Yeah.
Past.
I think the return route is very revealing.
How does your couch look?
Oh wow. Okay.
I wanted to. This is so extra, but I was like, I wanted to make the header display the subject.
Right.
And so I know this feels like not the most important thing, but
no, it's fine.
Like,
I
really wanted to work.
Yeah, no, but I think it's very relevant because it's creating a certain pattern of data storage, data retrieval, data display. That's all like those are very useful patterns. And this is a very simple class of that. Like this is one of the simplest examples of just retrieving data and displaying it, right? So I think it's a great practice thing to do.
Yeah. And then I think this is when I renamed my endpoints. What was I doing here? Oh, I think I was just like, oh, this doesn't. Anyway, I was like, this is the test page. And then just updating some names. I don't know if this was necessary, but I was like, also like a game should have a stage. So I added like, this is the default stage. Yeah, nothing else here.
Okay.
And then like getting the play and host pages to grab the game itself.
Got it. Can you go? Sorry. Okay, I see. Yeah. Okay, cool. Game ID fine. Can you scroll up, please? Use fetch get games, which is you're getting all the games.
Yeah.
Finding it by game ID. That's very interesting.
I don't know if that's ideal.
Yeah, I think it might be worth maybe in this session to do some refactoring, very, very mild, just as a way of setting. This is fine. This is like you're using what you have to do what you need to get done, which is a very great trait in just like, almost like bulldozing through, which is relevant. Like that's how you make things work. It's like It's very relevant. But there's a few patterns here I've noticed that I will want to give some code review notes on. But we can continue, and I can get back to them.
Okay. And then what did I do here?
Game deletion test, it says.
Yeah, because I was creating so many games to test, I was like, oh, I want an easier way to delete them.
Yep.
Which is when I added the delete stuff to the test page.
Cool, yeah.
I did move them eventually somewhere else, but at this point I put them at the test page, and it just kind of have like a basic list that I can press a button to delete. It's not pretty. Oh, this is when I deleted the update endpoint.
Yeah, no worries. I mean, eventually you'll, honestly, if you ever need it, now you kind of know that you can get it right from your Git history, instead of having to. It's just a rough. But I mean, like for example, the hello and the bye endpoints that we had created. Now you have create game endpoints, so you have an endpoint to copy from as you're kind of like creating new ones. You don't have to feel like you need to like type those out from scratch.
I don't know what I changed here. Like, oh, just styling. But yeah, this is just like styling nitpicks. Really. What else here? I don't think a lot changed here. Just cleaning up a little bit. And then the last thing I did was moving like the delete stuff into list of games. So it's still not pretty, but it's now accessible by clicking on like view all game rooms. So it's now here.
That does look hideous. Absolutely. You're right. I can completely agree with you.
And then I can also, okay, this I don't like a lot because when you hit delete, nothing happens and you just refresh.
Maybe we can fix that as a first step, just to play around with that. Yeah.
Okay, and I think now.
Is that it?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, so I guess from a UI perspective, maybe let's go over once again what you have in terms of functionality. So we have delete, and then we have.
Yeah, so we have like all the game rooms, and I find it helpful for like testing purposes to be able to like make sure everything still work. Like nothing, like there's nothing here, but I know that I'm in the right page.
Yeah. Plus, it's pulling the title, whose breakfast is it, whose couch is it, or whatever,
and then
information in up front. So
the host page, I added. I started adding some I don't know if components is the right word, but like some elements to the page.
Right. Yeah. So those are hard coded. So it's not like based on data. Yeah, I think it's a great way to start as well, where you have like some idea of what you want to display. You bring it onto the HTML aspect, and then now you're kind of like replacing variable names and even like thinking about the data elements you need to create as a result of what you've done. So that's a pretty cool thing.
I think I got this to actually pulling the link, but I don't think I got the copy to invite. Yeah, no, okay, I did not.
Got it. Okay, cool.
And then I think that's it.
What's the next step here in terms of the game flow?
Okay, let me look at Figma. I think I can either continue working on the host page. Like maybe I could get the copy to invite to work, but I also feel like that's not the most essential part of the experience. Maybe like, I don't know, like it feels like I should be working on the host page and the player page in tandem, if that makes sense.
Sure.
but I'm not sure exactly. Like I could maybe add some more elements to the page without functionality, but
Yeah, up to you on how you want to approach it. I don't think there's necessarily like a too right or too wrong way of doing that. It just depends on what you're feeling like. You could do some layout changes on that host page because they're interdependent, right? Like you actually need somebody to come in and play and get that information. So there's some back and forth, absolutely. And yeah, you could do that bit by bit.
I guess I can add a button at least. So that
like, this is what? Continue
like
to guessing?
Continued, yeah. So that like I don't know. Yeah, maybe not.
Wait, all responses are in. Okay, yeah, got it. I mean, well, I guess what's the point of continuing to guess when you don't even have any responses? So you're sort of forced to do the player aspect in some way, and maybe that's like a decent concept because. And one of the reasons I ask is, you continually have to kind of think about what layout display changes you need, and then what kind of data elements are needed to accomplish that, and when and how we do it. Okay, but maybe would you like some code review changes perhaps?
Sure.
Before we dive in, I guess one aspect that I had noticed was, fairly, straightforward one. I'm assuming on the game page, on the host page, I guess, in this sense, is that where you're grabbing all the games and then filtering? Perfect. Yeah. This is an okay pattern for a beginner, Mary. However, a professional, no. This is an okay pattern as you're just kind of, getting through. But ideally, what we want to do here is we would want to just have a get game endpoint. And then you find the game on the MongoDB side. Because you don't want to get all the games in the UI. Like, in this case, what you're literally doing is, just from your perspective, let's see it. Let's go to the browser, just so it's visceral. And it's in your heart of like what you've done here.
Okay. Should I be?
Yeah. And then go on the network tab.
Let me just take a game.
Yeah. Go on the network tab, clear it out. And then go ahead and join a room. See the get games, that endpoint? Yeah, go ahead and click on that. And let's look at the data in the response or the preview. Oh, yeah, response is good. Note that all the games are here. So now you've essentially exposed every single game.
Yeah.
Any player that's visiting any game. I mean, I know that we have like an all games page anyway, so it's not that big a deal at this stage, but conceptually, of course, you want to keep that data isolated and not reveal it. So while it's great for just to move forward, these considerations are relevant of like why certain patterns are created. Like there's a get game, there's a get games. There might even be like a /admin get games that's only relevant for admins, etc. Get games for a specific user and not all the games all at once, so forth and so on. So maybe let's fix that up by creating a get game endpoint.
Okay. Let's see. Just remembering how any of this work.
Ideally,
the other thing that I feel like eventually I need to figure out is how to prevent like games with the same ID. Because it's currently just randomly generated.
Yeah, we will need that to be unique for sure. So ideally in this situation, I'd highly recommend like not thinking too much. Although yes, you will have to remind yourself what the code does and scan it. But in this case, in this pattern, just copy get games into get game. I would have even just copied that file straight up. Like instead of creating a new file, just have copied the file. But in this case, just copy the entire contents here into get games and start modifying it so it starts to look more like getting a single game.
Okay, so there's something here. Find.
And maybe you can use the delete pattern to see, because
Oh, I think I need.
are you okay to verbalize that maybe? What do you think you need?
I need to try to see what the difference is between the files. Let games try wait connect. None of that should change. Oh, do I need to define a game?
Yeah. Although it won't be a string, not sure why there's a string or any there. But yeah, and any is fine. You could just define it as any. So just not even an array of any, just has any. And then yeah, it could just equal null to begin, since we don't have a game at this stage. And then when we get a game, it'll be the game. Okay.
Okay, wait collection. So game would. Wait, is this? No, that's not it. It's just this. It's probably wrong.
Yeah, that's fine.
Body, it doesn't like that.
Yeah, so conceptually, one thing to concretely think about is you're going to need a game ID, right? And we don't have a game ID. So how does it work in your delete game file?
Am I missing something? I feel like I'm
Yeah.
missing something.
You're seeing the code as an entire block
body
versus line by line. So, I mean, my guess is the reason you missed it is because the way you're scanning the code is like in chunks and not in discrete lines. Because if you do it in lines, you would have seen body much quicker. And then secondly, how did you learn about read body?
Honestly, I don't remember.
Okay, I mean, that's worth collecting in your mind on your journey to become an excellent programmer, because those kinds of things cannot be incidental. Like, they have to be intentional. Because then that way, like, you'd have to do it a few times to really get in your heart. But you should be aware of like where you learned it from. and how you got there, and that will help you recall as well, versus kind of just being incidental. So now the pattern, though we do need to internalize, at least for now, there are other patterns as well. So even this pattern we might change. But now you know how to get body data, is to read body from the event in this handler function. So the handler function offers you an event, and you need to read the body in order to get the body data. And now you have body data, and we're going to put the game ID in the body data. Great. There's something specifically I would have liked you to have noticed. It's fine. But if you don't mind copying the delete MongoDB bit and bringing it back, actually. Can you read out what the line 20 does?
Line 20?
Mm-hmm.
It's saying that should I? Okay.
Okay, just read it out first without having the need to. You might have noticed something and you feel like you need to correct it. Let's just read it out and let's get it out in the open first.
Define the game object as like finding the game ID. Okay.
It's okay. Take a minute. You see different things, but they're not yet coherent, I must say. It's fine. We'll get there.
Sentences are hard.
Yeah. Let's try again.
So finding the game by game ID and using that to define the game object, I guess.
Yes, but you're missing some key aspects that are the clues in the line, because like I'm asking the question, so it's obviously a leading question. Does this line feel right to you? Obviously the hint is it shouldn't, and there should be a number of reasons why. Unfortunately, I can't give that away. I was hoping that you would feel that already when I asked you to describe the line, so that's a gap. So now I have to be explicit about it. If it doesn't feel wrong to you, it should. And now that I've told you that there's something wrong there, what does it feel like is wrong with that line?
Const? Like, does it need a const?
Nope.
Is it the to array?
Yeah, it's a big component that you missed in your description of the line, right? It just means that right now it's like, again, the specificity in scanning a line, reading a line, and like I'm gonna say this in definitives. It's like those are things you can't miss because now you've made assumptions about them, and now when an issue happens, they become like your brain makes it invisible, and you look everywhere else except for, because the initial line parse wasn't as strong as it needed to be, you start thinking the problem is elsewhere. But in this case, games should be an array. That made sense. When in get games should be an array because we want many games. But now that we made it a game, it shouldn't be an array because, so now it says game equal, but we'll actually get an array, which doesn't make sense. That's what should feel wrong in this case, because we've changed the plurality of the variable, which means that it should not be an array. We want a specific game. So now, so let's get back to get game and maybe scan what your game line is doing on line 20, and then scan what's happening in line 23 to 25 and see if there's a hint here that you should sense. It might be wrong, but your first attempt should be having sensed something is wrong there, using an existing code example to maybe guess at what the right thing to do here might be. And then if we don't get it right, that's fine. We'll just look at the docs. And technically, this is a lesson in reading code and kind of finding the patterns that are important. So the to-array, obviously, and then there's a big pattern, a massive pattern online. I'll give you a clue now, unless you have it already. I take it from your silence that you don't.
I'm not sure.
Okay, well then, if you have something, then if you verbalize it, I can.
Like, do I need a const here? No, I don't think I do.
No. So okay, let's actually review that. Why do you feel like you need a const there? Like, why is that your go-to?
Because there's one here.
Yeah.
But
that's fine. That's incidental. That's not a bad. I mean, it's not a great guess, but it's not a terrible guess either. But let's review that. Like, if that was your guess, you should have a way of qualifying or disqualifying it. Why does line 20 not need a const?
Because it already exists.
You've already defined it, right? So you define variables, at least here, with either const or let. There's also a var definition, but we won't get there. But let and const is already defined, so you don't need it.
Yeah.
So that's so you like, yeah. So that's another thing is like you have to be able to disqualify that conceptually. It's like, oh, const is different. That's good. Thumbs up on the noticing that. But then you go, oh, I already have a let. I don't need const here. So that's gone. What else?
Well, I guess I'm thinking about like, what is? I have no idea if this leads anywhere, but like, what is the doc? Like, is it a like? Is it value?
Yeah, no, it's not. That's not a great guess either, because you're trying to bring in a concept that you have from Vue's front end, right?
Mm-hmm.
To maybe a guess. There's something more glaring here conceptually, which we'll cover. And yeah, it's not instant to notice, so I don't want you to like beat yourself up that you didn't notice it. But once I tell you, you might. It's on line 25. It's a very, very distinct thing about the way line 20 and line 25 are. Once you remove the const, what stands out? Is there anything that stands out? And if it doesn't, then it's a hint that as you move forward, these kinds of things ought to stand out.
Oh, like find one?
Yeah. Now, the function might not exist. I don't know that it exists, right? I'm just trying to offer you, like, knowing what I know about code that works, what I can assume about code that I'm going to write based on what my intentions are. So in the games one, the pattern was find and then to-array. That means that returns many. So because there's a delete one, there might be a find one. That's a good guess. Whereas a dot value is a bad guess because you don't know what you're doing there. You know what I mean? Like the intention here is we just want one game, right? Like the whole purpose of copying the code and changing the lines was we need to make this singular. And the one should like be a glaring thing that stands out to you. So that's something that you want to internalize over time. Now, it turns out, well, you have to verify, does find one actually exist? You could do that by testing or, again, now by reading the code. I'll give you one hint here. In JavaScript, there's a nice little thing that you can often do with a lot of libraries, not all of them, but some of them, is if you, I think, I don't use windsurf/VS Code, but if you press Command and hover over find one, and then click on it, it will take you to some definitions of that. Now, these won't be always easy to understand, and that's fine, but there's a documentation up there that says, fetches the first document that matches the filter, right? And now you can be somewhat confident that your guess here, your good guess is now validated by precise documentation.
Wow.
And that's the aspect is you want to like hypothesize, validate, hypothesize, invalidate, et cetera, right? Even when you're guessing about code, which means that guesses that you can validate are often better than guesses that you're just kind of pulling out of patterns, although those might work sometimes, which is where the dot value thing is so, like, you could try it, but it's a bit weirder versus like, hey, does collection offer me something that allows me to just get one thing? And the other thing is if you just hover over find one on its own, it gives you that documentation here. So now change this to find Lala. And now I guess if you hover over it, one like does not exist on blah. So because this is all kind of happening through either good JavaScript documentation or through TypeScript. You know, when we were like, okay, why are we using TypeScript kind of thing? We don't have to use TypeScript. This is available to you in JavaScript as well. But typically a lot of these libraries are using TypeScript because things are typed well. And now that those typings also serve as documentation in your IDE. So there's some hints there. I know that's like a long chunk of time to spend on that block, but there's a bunch of lessons there on like scanning and reading code and trying to understand what a better guess is than a good guess and a bad guess, in effect.
Cool.
And now you can test this out by going to the front end and making like kind of passing in. Well, yeah. What do you need to do here?
I need to update the endpoint. Get rid of this whole thing, I think. Right, I don't need that.
Sure, but before you do that, like maybe sequential updating is more important than. So like what did you change in the back end? The endpoint, right? But there's nothing about the endpoint that you changed on the front end. But there's something important there, the endpoint. So if you go back to your Get Games front end page. So you changed to the Get Game, but there's something else that you absolutely need, like glaringly need here. Do you have a guess at what it is?
Something glaring I need.
Yeah, absolutely, like hyper glaring that you need in your use fetch. Now,
the ID?
Yeah, the idea of the game, right? Like,
yeah.
Which is why it's like once you change it to Get Game, here I would almost recommend testing it out, even though the rest of the code doesn't conform yet. Because const data will get the data back. So now if you go on the UI and refresh your page, yeah, go ahead and join a game because this is on the single game page.
Wait, did I? Nope, I don't have anything copied. Oh, let's grab that. Oh wait, this is the host. Need to go to the host page. Okay, did not like that.
Yeah, so there's a bunch of errors, and now you could be like, hey, that didn't work. Versus, if your mindset was, I'm going to change multiple things on this page, because you change multiple things, it's harder to know what's not working. So don't get too carried away in making changes as you're going. So now you can limit the scope of what you've changed. But now you know what you need. Yeah, and now you can use this as a model. Exactly. Like that's why that whole delete clue early on was on purpose, because I know that delete is working on just one thing, and you've already done that, right? So now that should kind of be in your heart. What do I need to do if I want to act on one item?
I'm just going to steal this as reference.
Mm-hmm. And now you see the value of using your own code as a reference, which is why you wouldn't want to get rid of that update thing, because you will have to update in the future. Right?
Too late.
I know, but now you know. Not what feels like, oh, that's why do I need that? Let me get rid of it. Immediately, then you need it.
Get game. Get game. Get. Don't need that. Oh, this is a function.
So did you? Okay.
Oh wait, no, I don't. I should just do that, right? I think. Wait, something. Wait, what did I do?
Yeah. You were overzealous in your copy pasting, which is fine. Okay. And what do you need here?
I need. I need the ID somehow.
Somehow make it seem somehow when you said somehow it makes it seem like it's super complicated. I just want to offer you, even though you might be kind of like, getting yourself together to figure out, it is super simple. I do want to offer you that.
I feel like I've done that before.
Yeah, I mean, not only have you done it before, but there's many reasons why it should be simpler. And I want to dig into that, right? Like, there's something on that page you should see almost instantly, which you're not seeing. What is it? And then we have to understand why you're not able to see it. Like, that's where the learning really is, right? Like, so what do you think is here that, now that I've given you a clue here that there's something here you should almost instantly see, what do you think it is that you're not seeing? And again, I might be wrong eventually, but it's something that we should test. So okay, what do you need here?
Body.
No, you don't need
No.
body. Okay, if you go back to the front end and refresh and see if that works.
It's not gonna work.
Yeah, but let's take a look at the errors, right? Like, let's go in the console tab, right?
Oh shit.
Yeah, it's okay. Go in the console tab. Okay, so there's a bunch of errors here. Clear them out. Okay, and then refresh here. Okay, so the bunch of errors pop up here, and then there's a error and error message on the page itself. Let's first look at the page.
ID is not defined.
Okay, interesting. Let's go back to our code. What do you mean ID is not defined? Let's go back to our code. And now where is ID that's not defined?
Oh.
Okay. So what do you need to do?
Oh. I need to get the ID. Oh, is it this? Is this ID? Is this ID right? Game ID. Like, is it because I need it first? No. Am I making this harder?
No, not really. But there's things that now, at the very least, maybe we could pause here for a second if you go back and we could review something.
Is it this?
We don't know. If you go back, sorry, we can review something. One is, remember I said it should be glaringly obvious, right? So now that you knew that you needed an ID, you're kind of going all over the place, but literally the 3 lines below your use fetch were you getting the ID. Yes, and then you move them up. So I guess my question to you is, why wasn't that obvious to you? Because now in hindsight, that should be obvious, right? What are those 3 lines doing? They're getting an ID. What do I need? I need an ID. Okay, I'm trying to reference an ID. I should probably get the ID before I reference the ID. So obviously, I'm not expecting it to be immediately obvious to a beginner, but if you don't question why it wasn't obvious to you, then you're not going to make like you're going to be slower in making the progress. So the reason why I'm kind of being very like, pinpointed of where the gaps are is so that we make progress before. So now, without having to switch to a different file, let's Command Z yourself back to what it was like before. So I guess it's not, and even in the way that you said, is this the ID, means it's not in your heart, right? Because it should be immediately in your heart, like, and because you've done it before, that pattern ought to be available to you faster as well. So, which is why, like, I'm asking, like, how did you figure out that you need to do route.params.id, and whatever you used to figure it out, you did not leverage that to learn, like, to get it in your heart that you're getting an ID from somewhere. You know what I mean? Because then when you're scanning this code in search of an ID and you don't notice that it's getting an ID, means it's not in your heart. So back to the question is, why do you think it was not obvious to you that line 10 to 13 is getting an ID? Like, what is the gap here?
I think, sometimes I forget that things need to happen in sequential order.
That's fair. But even if the sequence, so had you thought that, but then I guess it's hard for me to know because you weren't verbalizing in this sense.
Yeah.
So what I would have expected to hear if that was the mental model is, I already have the ID. It's here. You didn't say that. So something tells me that you didn't realize you had the ID. So I'm not entirely, either you did believe it, but I'm not convinced entirely by that. It seemed to me that you did not realize you had an ID. And I'm not sure if that's true or not. I mean, only you would know.
I don't know. I think I was just like, I have an ID, but I'm not sure if it's connected. Like, I'm not sure if it's...
Yeah. No, it's helpful to verbalize that kind of thing as you're going through it, if only for yourself as well, to register that. So now that we've realized we have some kind of an ID, let's move those 3 lines above. Yeah. So yeah, definitely we need to, variables need to be defined prior to their use. That's the basic learning here. Now something is still off that you should see and be able to connect. And if not, then we're gonna dig into that learning process here. Again, what needs changing here?
Okay, is this it? Is that all I need? Because it's like it's already a expected.
Sure,
data,
try it out.
I guess.
Try it out. Save it. Try it out.
Wait, did anything happen?
Well, we do have a bunch of errors in the console. I want you to notice, like failed to resolve component, although it has a separate issue. So it seems like there are a few different things here, which is fine, not a problem. Let's try and figure out whether, does it look to you like it's working exactly?
No.
That's fine. But we made discrete changes. So, but something changed. Before we were getting a 500, and now we're not. So something has changed, but it's not fully functioning. Let's go back to that network tab, because again, what we have changed is a use fetch call, right? So our instinct should be to test that use fetch call. So let's clear all this out. Let's filter by fetch XSR, and then let's refresh. This is a problem with, I think you might have removed it. I think we disabled SSR.
We did?
yeah, last time we disabled. Let's go back and disable it in our Nuxt config, and I'd like you to keep the setting that way this time. So if you go on the Nuxt config, or maybe, so we did, sorry, my bad. We did disable it. So then why didn't it? And then let's go back again. That's my bad. My my understanding, my mental model would have been that because we disabled it, that when we refresh here with all, I expect to see get game as a network call here. And it's confusing me that's why I made the assumption that SSR was enabled, but okay, turns out it's not. Okay, fine. Can you click on all, please? Maybe that filtering is messing us up. Let's scroll down to see if anything pops up. So I guess not. I'm a little bit confused by that. But I also don't have the energy to dig into it. So that's fine. The way we can recreate it for now is let's copy your ID.
Like the game.
Yeah. And then let's go back to the main page. And then let's clear the network. Let's clear the console. And then let's go back on the network tab. And then let's join the game, because this will trigger the Ajax call actively. And now we see what we expected to see is that get games network call. And now it says status 200. So it means it worked. Let's double check.
But this is...
Oh yeah, wait, that's good.
This is a different page. Like I was only working on the host page.
Oh, whatever. I see. My bad. So let's go on the host. Is there a way to get to the host page like this?
Not.
Like
not really. Not yet.
Okay, no worries. Let's create it so that testability is easy to do. Do you know where you might do that kind of thing? I know we're doing multiple things at once, but it's...
I think on the
yeah
index here.
Yeah. Okay, so you have a go-to game by ID already. Where do you think you want to place that? Or how do you think you want to...
I think for now, just like more buttons.
I wouldn't do the button. There's a pattern you already have in the code. Yeah. There's a pattern you already have somewhere. Like, what would you expect? Like, let's say you were designing this. Let's say you're designing an app at work, and we listed some game data. How would you want the person on this page to get to the game?
For hosting?
For any, like, just, yeah.
Enter, I guess enter a ID and go to it.
If you, I'm going to be a little bit crude here, but if we were at work and you gave me that suggestion, I'd be like, Mary, you've thrown away your designer hat. I know it sounds very crude, which is why I'm purposely doing that, because it feels like you're leaving some part out of your thinking mechanism when you see this. Let's say you were a user. What would you expect to do on this page in order to get to the game that you want? Okay, let me put it this way. Would you create a form in order to delete the game where you enter in the ID and then create submit? No. Instead, you created a button. So likewise, the button isn't really the format. Maybe the button could be, but what else on the page might you click in order to get to the game?
I guess.
Yeah, the link to the ID, right? I know that in retrospect it seems obvious, but if you were like, hey, let's create a form here, I'd be like, what are you talking about? What are you doing? So it's fine. I know we're in a stream. It's like a different energy. It's fine. But hey, like, as you're coding, because you have access to code, you're trying to use a coding pattern to solve a problem because you have on the different page already, but you want like everything to be available to you. So let's convert the game ID to a link that links to the host page. And you already have done links before.
Yes.
So
this is correct.
I remember for one of the diffs, I recall seeing something.
Yeah. Oh man, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so go to game by ID. I guess first I will steal. I'll do the easy part, I think, of going to.
If you're willing to learn a new thing, this is a good thing. What you're doing here, based on what you have, is correct. So I want to offer you that. It's absolutely correct. Like, this is very similar. So this pattern is very similar to getting all the games and then filtering. It's actually like, I want to give you a thumbs up on that. So I don't want to seem like a complete asshole over here being like, like, it's a link, Mary, kind of thing. But if you scroll down on this page, I think I saw it. Maybe a different page. No, it's a different page. So no, it is on this page. There's something on this page. If you scroll down, there's something on this page that represents the link. What is it?
Nuxt link?
Yes. So instead of having a JavaScript function that goes to the link, the proper HTML way is just to include the game ID in your actual link. So here, let's copy the next link tag end to end, and let's bring it over into our games page right below game ID. And the first thing you want to do here is just, copy the insides of the tag. Yeah, and you can include the game ID there, so it's visually present. Even for our own, like, oh, I see. You want to, sorry, I would have just changed the game ID to a link. All right, we don't have to do that. You can have a separate host page link, that's fine. But now, how do you think you can get the game ID into the URL? Do what feels right first.
Post. I think have I not done this?
That's fine. What more do you need here?
The ID itself.
Okay, so there's a few things at this stage. Can you? Yeah. Okay, that's number one. I'm not sure why you feel the need to get the space in there. Like, if you're typing in a URL with the ID of the game, you would not type in a space. But for some reason, the code in your heart, you're like, I need a space.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. And okay, let's go back and see if this works.
I need something.
Yeah, you do need something, but let's go back and see if it works in the HTML. Is it a link even? Let's just see. Yeah, click it, and now what's happened here? It's just the text. So what do you need to convert a parameter in a tag? Because next link is a component, right? So here you're passing in a string into the to argument, or the to parameter, or the to attribute. So how do you pass in a variable into an attribute like this? Do you know?
Was it like this? No.
No, it's not. Not in a view component. What you have, it's not. Yes, well, it actually is. Go ahead and try that.
Is it?
Yeah, it is.
Like that?
Almost. No, not quite like that, but there's more. So you need an opening brace. There's like a lot you need here. So let's walk through it. You need a closing brace. In addition, you need backticks to define the string, like in front and at the end of the entire string, of the whole URL. And we'll review this in a second.
Wait, what?
Okay. Save it, and then go ahead and test it out.
Let's go back.
Okay. That's fine. It says, hey, it's still not parsing it or not treating it like a JavaScript string, which is what we need. So let's go back. And there's one small detail we need to do here. Do you have a sense of what it is? It's possible that you don't know in your view journey so far. So and it seems like you don't know off the top, it's placing a colon in front of the to attribute. Yeah, at the beginning of the to attribute. So there's a to attribute, yeah, right there. And now that converts this into, although I don't know why it has this, oh, that squiggly is a different thing. So now let's go ahead and test it, and then we can revisit this and kind of learn if it works. If it doesn't work, then we need to fix it. But if it works, and it does.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like look at the URL.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it works. So here, now you know why I was kind of like, so the JSON you had with the router.push would have worked, but it's just not like, it's not the web way of doing it, because you're using JavaScript to do something that HTML offers you. Although technically Nuxt link is doing those JavaScript bits behind the scene, but that's why you have the Nuxt link tag. Nuxt link tag is kind of doing a router.push for you. And that way now you don't have to create a button and a function and like, this is it. This is the pattern we use. Now, the reason why, when you put, if you could go back, please, when you put a colon in front of an attribute like to, whatever you put inside it is just JavaScript now. Okay?
Mm.
Which is why we need to define quotes around the string. So I'm going to take a moment here maybe to clarify. I know it's just like, now we're like way off the task that we were doing, but like these are tools that will help you build components or like things. So that's why I'm like, it's what I can offer you while we're like, like you're going to go off and do stuff on your own, but it's what can offer you what we're doing together. So let's try this.
Sorry.
So yeah, what are you saying?
I want it to be a different color.
I'm sorry, Mary. I was talking. I was literally explaining something. What do you think you're doing? Excuse you. I literally just said, hey, Mary, this is what I can offer you when we're together. And you're like, I want to change the color. Would you do it home? Okay. All right. Then let's pursue that. And I want to use that as a lesson now. So go ahead and add your color. Go ahead.
All right.
Sorry, I'm going to be nitpicky here. I don't know why, because I want to really get into your mental models. Can you remove that? Yeah. I'm doing this because you did this twice, and I find it a little weird. When you clicked, so put your cursor elsewhere.
Mm-hmm.
When you click to add your class, you clicked before the quote.
I know.
And then you did it twice. And then you use the keyboard to move up, which is super weird I will catch everything, I swear. Like sometimes when I don't say anything, it's because I'm being extra kind. Trust me. I see it I see it. And so like, but because I saw it the first time I saw it, I was like, okay, fine, no worries. The second time I see it, I'm like, come on, what are we doing here, Mary? Even this, okay, sorry. But like, hopefully we're comfortable with this. I mean, I've already given you pretty direct feedback, but this is what that's why we're here.
Text. I don't know if this class exists, so we'll see.
Yeah, that's fine.
It does not, clearly.
So I guess my question is, how did you know a PX4-4 existed?
I looked it up.
Okay, so
at one point.
All right, let's go.
I'll look it up. Text color. Text blue. Okay, let's do it.
Let's just in the spirit of visiting the Tailwind docs, given the recent news of them letting go of 75% of their people, let's actually visit the docs and take a look. So now show more here. And in this case, now you should form a pattern based on what you see that you should be able to carry on, which is text-red-grade.
Yeah.
Right? And it's offering you from 50 to 900, or 950 actually, it turns out, in whatever increments. And then there's a text black, text white, current, inherit. So if you scroll up to the top, there's a text transparent, inherit, current, black and white, which is kind of like the base, and then colored variations. And if you scroll down,
oh jeez.
Yeah. If you scroll down, there's multiple use cases here. One thing I want to it's these are things you kind of index in your mind as you're glancing at examples. Is it teaches you how to do dark mode as well here.
Where's it? Oh, there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then as you scroll down,
opacity, custom.
Yeah.
Variables.
And I think on this page, I would have also expected to have seen, like now you have a very linky, like you have the underline and the hover, and then all this business that you likely want, right? So you probably want a text color by default, and you want a hover text color. Keep scrolling down. From when I used to look at these docs, I remember there being like a visual color scale as well, but maybe that's on a different page. But it's good for you to know. So if you scroll all the way up to the top, maybe we might notice something at the in the menu bar. So what are we seeing here? Colors. There's a core concept, and there's colors under there. Yeah, great. So just to give you a visual representation of what you can expect based on the color, and its color grading is available here. I would expect if you click on it, I would have wished that it copies the, so it does.
What did it copy?
It probably the CSS. Oh no, it copied this. That's unfortunate. I would have wanted to copy text. Oh no, it doesn't know. Because you know why? It does that makes sense. It doesn't know how you want to use it. Because this, if you want to do background, you would do BG dash blue dash whatever. So anyway, that's so here's a reference for you in terms of color thing. And now, if blue is what you wanted, then this is what you have here. But I remember you copied something. Okay,
It's not what I wanted.
Okay,
underline. There was hover, was it?
Okay.
Wait, no.
I would have preferred that you had copied it. I thought when you highlighted it, you had copied it.
I did, but then I copied something else.
Oh no!
I copied this.
Oh no! You copied the most useless thing there.
Yeah. What was it? I copied hover. Oh, hover colon text.
Yeah. And that's a pattern in Tailwind too, where there's these modifiers. I don't know if that's what they're officially called, but you could do it on hover. You could do it on focus. So there's focus colon this. Okay, cool. Although now I'm gonna, I guess, go back to the point I was trying to make, way before you tried to undercut me and my presence. Okay, if you go back here. What I want you to do is place a colon in front of class. My goal here is to break patterns, right? I don't want you to think that the colon thing is only available in these other parameters, and because currently I don't think you would have thought of class as something you could place a colon in front of as well. Maybe you did, but I specifically want to break that. Now let's go back and see what it did and what it looks like. It doesn't work because hey, error parsing JavaScript. Because like what I said, once you put a colon in front of an attribute, whatever's inside the initial quotes is expected to be JavaScript. Now, let's go back and see how you can make it into JavaScript. What's missing, you think? Or what? Oh my God. Okay. Sorry, no. I just got a text from someone, and it just hit me. Okay, so backticks are one way of having a string. Typically, you use backticks when you want to insert a variable, as we did in the previous one. So let's undo these backticks. What is another way of having a string in JavaScript that isn't backticks?
Do I know this?
Yeah, 100%. Have you used strings in JavaScript? Mary, have you used strings? Then you should know this. No, you could not be more wrong. Sorry. If you go back and bring back, it's not the worst guess, I'll tell you. I think what you're trying to do is, hey, in a template, I've used this like double squiggly braces to insert variables. Does that work here? I mean, you've seen that pattern in React, so no. This is JavaScript.
Brackets?
Also, you could not be more wrong. That's fine. So, okay, hold on. Time out. When you want to create a string, let's go back to scroll up. On this page, we have JavaScript code here.
Yes.
I see strings in this JavaScript code. None of those strings are defined by either squiggly braces or square brackets. I'm really curious on why you thought those were those elements that you needed. You see what I mean in terms of like the detail of like the mental models? And I'm like, I want to really this is the kind of thing. Just type out though. I do want to explain. This is the kind of thing I was hoping to do in coding lessons, but everyone was scared shitless of like that kind of a thing. But it means the coding class wasn't as great. Like you did not learn enough in the coding class, right? Like I could just tell you here, because it was like, oh no, I'm gonna go away and do the code myself. Don't worry about it. Now I have no idea how you're doing it. Like, and sometimes you are using AI for certain things. Sometimes you are copy pasting. And there's a lack of like building mental models that completely goes missing. Which then I kind of ask people like, hey, do you want to try and do it in class? And like, no, everyone's like, no. I'm like, okay, well, we're not gonna. I'm like, it's fine. If this was because we just won't learn enough. Like these are concepts that at this stage of JavaScript, you should know like the back of your hand. So where is there a string on your current code? Give me a line number where there's a string in this JavaScript code. Should not take more than 2 seconds to see.
10.
Yeah. Well, let's try again, because that seemed like you're asking me a question. I'm gonna try again, and maybe you could give me an answer instead of a question in return. I know we're gonna watch this and like this is. I'm sorry. What do you want me to do? Like, wait. I asked for an answer, Mary, not a question.
10.
What? Line number 10. Line number 10. Okay, thank you. Where is it on line number 10?
Here.
Okay, what delimiters does it use to signify a string?
Quotes.
Can you be more specific, please?
The single quote thingies.
Correct. Single quotes is fine, because there's double quotes and single quotes. Both of them work in JavaScript. But technically, by default, you want to use single quotes. So now let's scroll down and let's add single quotes around our string. Which again, I feel kind of bad putting you on a heavy spot here. Sorry, not like that. Let's inside the double quotes, and I'm going to explain why. Yeah, inside the double quotes. This is precisely why I'm doing this whole exercise, right? Is there some certain mental models that are like implicitly there that are incorrect that you have currently? And now let's go back and make sure that it works. So I'm not shown to be a liar. So earlier, sorry, and I do want to explain something to you very quickly. Earlier, I was like, oh my God, right? I apologize. I was reacting to something else, a text I was sent by a friend. And this text is, let me describe it. It says TV. And on his TV screen is an IDE with code in it. So I looked at it and said, oh my God, this guy's coding. Maybe he's using AI. Okay. And so I looked a bit closer, and on the bottom right of his TV screen are 2 circles.
Okay.
Do you see where we're going here? There's 2 circles, and each circle has a face in it. It's us. Yes, it's us. And I was like, that's why I reacted so heavily, because it was so like I wasn't able to control it.
Okay, cool.
So we have one viewer. Okay, did you also get this text? Okay.
Yes.
All right, and now you see it. And now you see my reaction was, oh my God, all right.
Wow. I guess they miss us.
Could be. Are they a subscriber? How else would they know? How would he know? Okay, so So it works. Let's confirm that your link is orange. It works. Let's try and go back to see what you're trying to do, which is replacing the outer quotes, the outer double quotes. Remember, I was like, hey, be more specific with the quotes. This is why. Because there's double quotes here and there's single quotes here. Now, let's save it. Let's try and go back. This in certain mental models, this ought to work. It doesn't work because let's go back and let me explain that.
Oh my god, I can't shortcut.
Mm-hmm. So what's happening here? Let's actually try one more thing here, just to cycle through the reasonings. Let's remove the colon from in front of the class. And let's save this, and let's see if this works.
Oh my god. What the heck?
Just refresh to double check. So this does work, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the moment you put that colon in front, you need one way of signifying the start of the JavaScript, which is done by quotes. And then you need another way, but whatever's inside those quotes needs to be full JavaScript on its own.
So it needs both.
And that's why it needs, both when you have that thing in here, because when you have the quote, when you have the colon. Now, actually save this. This is an error you will come into. Save this, please, and go back and see if it worked.
Why are my shortcuts not working now? It was working so well before.
Yeah, let's actually analyze that as well. So now it doesn't work. You can see that your thing isn't orange.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. So can you press Command Tab and just don't let go of Command?
Oh.
So this, okay. Do you know, just hold on here. Do you know why your shortcuts weren't working anymore? There's a very specific reason why. It's because in one of them, you had tabbed to a different window, and now there's a gap between your Chrome browser and your windsurf, and you're actually switching to a different thing. Now you're in Finder. You're not in. So the way to correct that is to go in windsurf. Yeah. And now press Command and Tab and hold on to Command and make sure that the next thing that you tab onto is your browser. Yeah, it should be your browser. Press Tab again. Now let go, and now press Command Tab and let go.
Okay.
Ah, yes.
Oh
okay.
god.
Everything is a thing. I'm sorry. Like I don't know. I wish I didn't see these things, so I didn't have to stop other people and be like, "Hold on, give me a second. Let me explain what's happening in the world." But okay, back to the class. Why do you think this didn't work? This didn't work, right? We went back and it wasn't orange. Why?
Oh, the colon.
Yeah, exactly. So there's so many nuances here, and this is why, even in coding class, I was like, you have to read every character. Like, what do you want? Someone else to come and read every character for you? Do it yourself. Like, you know what I mean? Even early in the code, you got to read every character. If you start treating, like, you have to see that delete one is different from the find. Like, and that is from again, a lot of devs get away without doing this kind of particularness. I'm very particular about it because this will sound so egotistical, but people ask me for help. I don't want you to ask me for help. I need you to see it yourself. And by improving your scanning techniques, looking at it by character, you're in the flow. You don't have to lift your head to Google something, because now there's no way to even describe what was happening there to Google it properly for it to tell you that you needed a colon up front. So now Google will tell you 8 different things. You'll be off to a different path, and you'll be like, programming sucks. I'm bad at programming. I quit. That's why people let go of this. It's like, it's too hard. I can't do it. Or let me use AI, because AI will instantly tell you. It's because we're not reading. Like, we're not very particular about what we're typing, because in conversation, we get away without being specific. And we want that same thing here. We want to be able to use our charm to get the code to do what we want, which is why we love AI.
Question,
right?
though. Why do we need the colon for class here?
Yeah, that's a good question. Why? Well, can you offer me an answer?
If I could, I would not be asking.
That's not true. That's not true. There's a connection that you could make that you haven't yet. But maybe you won't make it and I'll offer it to you, but I want to give you the opportunity to make that connection. Okay. I'll give you a moment. And when you're like, I give up, Adnan, free me from these chains.
Well, I guess like to me, I'm like, I always
It's a
want
good
the
question.
host page link to be like to have these classes.
Sure.
So
But that's not the question you asked. You didn't ask why for the host page. You said, why would class ever need it?
Mm.
So what might an answer to that question be?
I guess if the class does things other than styling.
No, the class only does styling, really. I don't.
Okay.
So it has to be something with styling. What could it be?
I don't know. I give
Okay.
up.
Yeah, no worries. But okay, I want to bring because again, this might seem assholic or whatever, but I don't know. I can't help it. So let's say designer Mary looked at a page and said, "Hey, coder, if the user is from America, I want the link to be red. If the user is from Canada, I want the link to be blue." You would need variables for that, which means class needs to be dynamic, which means it needs to be a variable. So I can put a class in there. I can put a class in a variable. Does that make sense? And that's a connection over time. Again, in your heart, like you will start making, because as a designer, you know it. As a person who requests features, you do it all the time, right? But then when you're, which is why I said you know the answer, because you do actually know it. It's the connection that you need to make. And the more connections you get better at making, the better at the whole cycle you get. At least now you can see why I didn't answer the question. Why I wasn't like, you're like, I was like, no, you kind of know in your heart somewhere. Like somewhere deep down in there, you actually know. You actually know, you know better than 90% of humanity why that has ever lived. Actually, 99.99% of humanity has ever lived. You know better why class would want to be a variable at times. It's because you want variable classes. So reading the docs on class and what you can do with that will help you achieve certain design visual goals that you want using code. So all this long-winded thing to explain why the colon and the 2 and why the backticks, because the backticks allow the variable game ID to be appended or interpolated into the string. And then the whole reason I went through make the class, I used your ADHD while I was talking to add a class. I was like, no, I'm going to turn this a lesson, as you can see here, because I was like, I don't want that pattern to be connected that the colon's only for certain specific things. It's for any attribute, really, that you're passing into a Nuxt component. Almost any attribute. Most attributes. And then the differentiation is, note that below, when you have @click, the same rules apply. Everything inside those quotes on line 46 is JavaScript code, right? And then and that triggers the inside to be a JavaScript, and the specifies an action, and then the colon specifies just an attribute. So it just becomes a regular HTML type attribute, or an attribute you pass into a component, like the game ID or whatever. So yeah. And then again, the more like, again, I know I'm kind of getting philosophical here, but a lot of why people find programming difficult is because they're not able to break the patterns they make quickly. We love patterns, and when we see one pattern used in one way, we believe that's the only way that pattern's ever used. And then once we need to apply it somewhere else, we're like, I don't know. It's like, no, like you need to make that gap or leap. Or breaking patterns. Like, again, you think because the colon was applied to 2, you think maybe it only applies to 2. And now you lock that pattern into just one aspect when that pattern applies widely. And then and so that's the reason I'm going to this long-winded, like, let's spend, half an hour just doing a link, is for that reason. I just need.
Weren't you gonna make some point before I ADHD'd?
Who knows? What could that point have been? No, this was the point.
Oh, okay.
This whole like quotation thing inside of this, I used the class thing for that purpose.
I see.
I was like, let me use your indiscretion here to teach you a literal lesson. That sounds mean. I'm like, I'm going to teach you a lesson, but no, it's like the actual lesson I was going to teach. Good. Let's undo the class, because that's ridiculous. You'd never want to do this. Like, so the whole thing is like, by default, that's kind of what's happening is when you don't put a quote, it's just a string. Like, it's kind of what's happening already. Okay. So now, even before this, the whole reason why we added this link was to see whether our JavaScript call was being made. Yes. So let's go and check.
That's right. I forgot. That's what we were doing.
I did not forget. I remembered. So now let's click here. And I would have expected to have seen it. And I'm kind of mildly surprised that we didn't. Which means our code isn't working. Which means SSR is working, but our code isn't. Like, maybe there's something broken in our code. But let's go back to the browser to verify.
Wait. Oh, no, never mind. Okay. Okay, so we're doing this.
I would have expected to see a get game here, but let's go into the console to see if there's any warnings or errors that may apply. Now, unfortunately, there's ones that are a bit of a distraction because you might be using tags somewhere in there when that element doesn't exist. But if you scroll the way up here, maybe. Scroll the way down, please.
Is it this?
It could be. Unlikely, because first the JavaScript runs and it should be getting that one game, and we're not seeing that at all. So how do you suppose we would debug it? Let's go back to the code. And how would you debug whether that's happening here, like whether we've gotten the data that we wanted?
Can I comment this out or like get rid of it? Because I don't think it's doing anything.
I mean, it's doing something because it's just doing the wrong thing, or it's not. Yeah,
like it's not helpful.
Yeah, but you did have a game variable that you were using in the template, which
That's
now
true.
then, like there's a
right.
And just again, note, I did not even have to see the template to have known that it was in my heart. You know, when I say like it's not in your heart, it is in your heart. Like, and I never saw the code for the game template. I saw the HTML and I could tell. And these things, like obviously it takes many years to build that in your heartness, but like that's again, it's like when some people ask like, what's the difference between levels of programmers? It's how much of it you have, like how much of a system that you did not even code that you have in your heart. That's ridiculous. Although in this case it's fairly simple. But all right, what's going on now? My instinct here. Yeah, go ahead. What is your mouse there for a reason?
I guess I would probably add console logs.
Yes, all over the place, 100%. Because at this stage, I have no idea even if we're on the right page. I wouldn't place my first console.log. I would not place my first console.log there. Where do you think I would place it? Yeah, like one of the first things I would do. And then I would place it after as well. So
Oops.
There's something that this console.log is missing. Yeah, the game ID, exactly. Like, it just helps you. It's not absolutely necessary to debug what we're debugging, but it's super helpful if you did place it there while you're there. So that's good. I will offer you one more thing. If you go back to line number 9, you know how you did a plus game ID? That's good because you did concatenation on a string. But it turns out the log takes in multiple arguments. So you could just put a comma after the string instead of the plus. And this way, all your inputs don't have to be strings. They can be objects. That's the reason. So data is an object. It's not a string. So you want to do plus data because you don't want to convert data to a string. You want to see the data object. And in this case, if you put some text in there first, and then you put in comma data, now you're able to see the object in the logs. So this is a super helpful tip for debugging in general. Though the instinct to do plus is correct, this is a more helpful technique. So I think we have enough to go back and see whether, like, this does it all what we think it does.
Oh, I need to go back.
Okay, yeah. Scroll up, please. I saw it. So the object is there. Excellent.
What the heck?
So how did it get the object without doing a network call? Can you open up the object, please? Maybe I'm just confused about how I think. No, this does not look. Can you go into value? So in the value, there's a ... near the bottom of this object. Yeah, click on the ... It's undefined. So we're not. Something is it's skipping the useFetch call for some reason. Let's go back and take a deeper look at the code. There's some nuance here that is lost on me at least. Oh, yeah, I think I know here. Yeah, okay, I'm not going to be Socratic about this. Can you just change that get to a post, please, so we can quickly test? I was going to ask you, what do you think we could do here, Mary? And you'd be like, I don't know. And then I'd be like, let's change it to a post. But okay, we're going to skip that. Quickly, I'm trying to see whether, because actually, I know, I will do it. Let's go back there. Go back to your delete one.
Delete.
This is something that I had bookmarked to reference later.
Wait, that's the wrong page.
Mm-hmm.
It is
your delete is doing a post. So the thing is, like, for debugging purposes, your heart should be like, hey, I know the delete worked. What's different? Oh, I'm doing a post. Could that be relevant? It shouldn't be, but maybe. So let me test it. So that's the cycle. Instead, I was like, let's just turn it to post. That's the cycle in my head that was happening is, hey, but I have also some knowledge, which is in HTTP, GET requests don't have a body. Okay? GET requests have query variables, not body variables. Okay? Or query params, not body params. Post requests have body params, delete, put. Actually, all requests have query params. Additionally, GET does not have a body param. So changes to a post might work, maybe doesn't. Can we go on network tab, please? Okay, now it is working, right? That was the thing is, for some reason, JavaScript did not offer us a helpful error. It kind of just like returned undefined. And the console logging helped us, although it would not have helped you. I don't know. I just thought so cruel, but it wouldn't have helped you because I don't think you would have thought, hey, I have my method incorrect. And the only way that you could have known that is either by experience or learning about HTTP methods broadly and understanding which HTTP method works in which way. So now we have a server error because our server code is incorrect.
Okay. Oh, wait. Game ID. What does it say?
Sorry, you're whispering, but do you have a sense of where the error is? Okay. Do you know what the error was? Do you have without switching back to the error in your heart? Do you know what the error is?
It was what was it?
No. Do you know the contents of the error?
I'm trying to remember. Okay. Games is not defined or something.
Correct. So what should you be looking for here?
Oh, I don't have a games.
Okay. Would you bet your house on that statement? Because you seem very confident. Hold on. That's weird. Weird. Because hold on. Not half a second ago, when you said I don't have any games, remember when you were like, line 10? Question mark? That was a question mark. But you said I don't have games. That seemed very confident. But the moment I asked you to bet your house on it, curious. So, okay, line number 15, you're highlighting games. What is that though? That's
the collection.
No, but
that's
very
all
concretely,
games.
what's inside the brackets? What is that? What
games?
What? Yeah, but what is that? What is that concept in coding? Everything is it's a string. So what we're looking for is a variable because it's not defined. So strings don't count as like a definition of variable name. You said I'm not using games anywhere here. Are you not?
Is it this? Because I don't.
You're asking a question. Not sure why. Undo, please. Can we do this again without making... See, when you were up earlier, you were like confident. I'm not using games anywhere. But now you're like, is it this? Why the variation in confidence? Literally, it says games over there. Yeah. You should be like, it is this. This is it.
Okay.
What? This is me yelling. Remember, I was like, I wanted to yell?
Yes.
So
are
this
you
is
satisfied?
It. Yeah, 100%. This is why I do this. We've done it. But what do we need to do here now? I feel like you were so quick on the trigger to delete it, which would have worked, but caused a different problem.
Oh, really? Okay, let's see. So we need to... Okay, so this is remnants from like get games.
Yes.
We don't need the count for sure.
Yes.
But we could keep the game, I suppose.
You said we could keep it, I suppose. That's not.
Oh, we need it.
Mary. We absolutely need it. It's not. It's not optional. Why did you think it was optional? You even when I gave you the hint, maybe I suppose no. Like, what's the point? Literally, there's 0 point to this endpoint if it doesn't return game. The get game endpoint.
Oh my god!
I feel like if the game exists, must return a game. Okay.
Yes. Wait, right. But do you need this? I don't think I do, eh?
Okay, let's save it. First, this one thing we've done. Let's see if the other side returns an error now. And then let's go back and test your theory of do we need this? Okay, so now get game, you could see is what status there? Because I just want your eyes to scan that. Sorry, could you say it out loud? What status is it? Sorry, can you click the X again? Can you click the X again? Sorry, I don't know if you're very particular. Yeah, the X on this under preview headers, there's an X there.
This?
Yeah. Without clicking anything, you should be able to tell the status of get game.
It's 200, which
yes,
is good.
Which is success. So that's where I would like your eyes to go first when we're testing, right? Like here, where we were in an error state before, it was like a 500 or a 400 or whatever. But now that it works, your first instinct should be scan that. Is like scanning that line and seeing what state it is even before you click into it. That's a secondary thing to click in. Now let's click in and see whether we get game data. Excellent, we do. And note that it's not an array. It's the pure game object. Amazing. Let's go back and test the theory that you don't need the games line. So line number 15. Go ahead and test it. How do you verify it? How do you validate that thought?
Don't you have to go soon?
Yeah, I have to go now, actually.
Oh, it doesn't work.
But am I gonna miss an opportunity to teach a lesson, Mary?
Wait, does it work? Okay, let me redo.
When you click, does it work?
No, nothing happens.
Well, actually, something is happening.
Wait, the URL is different.
Yeah, I think everything is kind of borked here. But yeah, here, refresh here. Click on host page.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead and click on that.
Collection is not defined. Okay, so
okay, yeah. So
I didn't need to
now you have to. It's not in your heart.
Here, right?
Yeah. What this code broadly does is not in your heart. I can tell you that. Like the collection is a database collection, which is called games. Just because it's called plural games doesn't it's a collection of games, which we get one game from. And this is another thing. It's so hard for people to distinguish strings from variables when they learn to code, because they're all tokens to us. And I think that's the seedling of the issue that you had here. Okay, we went through a lot without really doing much.
We did stuff.
No, but how do you feel about this kind of feedback in a live session while I'm here moment?
It's fine.
Okay,
it's great.
Right. Yeah, like these are all the nuances which I was kind of hoping that we would do in a class environment, but I don't think people are ready for this. Like people don't want that. They want, hey, how do I wave my hand and get better at coding? How do I just magically just learn?
I think for me I don't want to waste your time.
Okay, but then why don't join the class at all? That's what would save my time. If I didn't have to do a class. It's actually a waste of my time if we're there and you don't learn in the depth that you should learn. And the only way to do that is with this kind of feedback. Because you could see, this is literally why people go to coding classes and come in with very little ability to actually code on their own. And that's what I was hoping to make that. And I tried, and but the energy was not there. And I didn't want to force something that people weren't willing to do or understood the value of. The only way you really get better at it is one, either instinctively, the differences between realizing the nuances of things, anything you treat it, whether it's code or the command tab thing. It's a way you treat things. And you're like, oh, how do if I just, now I know. Now I have knowledge and validation. Okay. Cool. But I feel like you have a bunch of tools here that you can take home and continue to build with. We learned links, we learned the nuances between get and post, although those haven't been in our heart. This should be a get method, but we don't have the time to cover that right now. I gotta go. So I actually gotta go now. I'm gonna let you wrap up and say goodbye. I'm actually out. All right, peace. Let's go home. Good night.
All right. I might just do a little bit more to see if I can, see if I can wrap up the game object situation, make this work. So let me see if I can. Oh, fuck. Sorry, if I can get to my host page. Oh, my host page is not happy. because I did not do something correctly. Cannot read properties of undefined. Reading find. Oh, I don't think I need this. If I go to console, I have my object. Oh, I do have my page. Okay, so I did just need to delete the code that I had from back when we were using the get games endpoint. So let's see. I think this is correct. So 129540. Whose breakfast is it? There are still some things that are broken on this page. Like it's not actually putting in the room ping here, and it's not putting in the subject here. But I'm actually okay with that because the linking is working. Last thing I will do before I call it, because I also need to go walk my dog, is to add a play link here, or I will try. So a play page. This should be straightforward unless I fuck it up royally. It should be that. Oh, jeez. Okay, I need to make that a little bit just visually make a little more sense. Let's do. This is probably a bad way to do it. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna put this in a paragraph. All right. That should be good. Cool. Host page. Play page. Awesome. I really want to fix this stuff, but maybe we'll do that another day because okay, I really want to do it though. Okay, let's see. Maybe I can do it quickly. Game question. I think what I need. Am I in the right? Yeah, I'm in the host page. I think what I need is to define game here. And to do that, compute ID. Computed. Okay, maybe I'll do it a different day. Just because I don't think it will be a quick thing for me. But yeah, I think this is okay. All right, well, I'm happy with this for now. Next time, on or off stream, I will come back and fix the dynamic display of the subject, the dynamic display of the room pin, and then maybe I'll work on the copy to invite next. This is a note to self. All right, well, that's it. Thank you for coming to watch another episode of Product Like It's Friday, where me as a designer try to code and Adnan yells at me. Yeah, we'll see you next Friday. Probably, yeah, we'll see. Likely next Friday, but no promises. All right.